we have tryouts every 2 years, and that's by design, just so like, by the time like if at all any fans like start getting tired of like the current pool of competition, like there's always like a new breed like slowly coming up,
Wow.
before you know it, there's like a bunch of like fan favorites from like the rookies and the sophomores and
Yo,
shit. So
that blows my fucking mind because that really you're just casually saying this, but this is probably why you guys are in the position you're in, and it's probably why like we have the same pool of battlers for the last 15 years, almost 20 years.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Is because
yeah, yeah,
there is no like there's all sorts of leagues like us doing tryouts, and even like
yeah,
URL or King of the Dot will do like events that are meant to drive up interest in new talent.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
like what you're telling me is that like every 2 years, which is a long fucking time,
yeah,
but
yeah,
short in the sense that like look at Thesaurus's fucking rap career. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
there
yeah,
like how many if like these other leagues had a concentrated effort like annually or biannually to like really put forward new talent because they felt like, oh, y'all are tired of seeing these same dudes. You know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
that
yeah,
was the case, how many new generations of battlers would we have out here? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for
Like
sure.
like it's so hard for dudes like Geechee to break through from like being a new guy to being the best guy. Like
Yeah,
there's so there's so few, like you have to do so much right and then also get lucky and then also be in the right place for that to happen for anybody here versus like what
yeah,
it
yeah,
sounds like there is like you create an opportunity for new talent to get to the position where they could be like a loony someday. You know what I mean?
yeah. I dare say, man, like I've always wondered why like the other leagues don't like focus on talent development in that sense. I always felt like Don't Flop was like one of the better ones at it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like remember like how like all sorts of like new names were popping out of the UK, and they were like
Oh yeah,
they
like
were matched well, you know what I mean? And they would eventually come up to the status of like the pioneers and shit. So like
yeah, exactly. Like
yeah, like
Soul was a guy who came way after dudes like O'Shea, but he had an opportunity to get to that same level. Like at
yeah,
some
yeah,
point there
yeah,
was a concentrated effort where there was like all these new guys, like Tony D and all these guys came in
yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah.
Yeah, no, good point, good point.
So
That's
yeah, man, like
fucking wild.
I definitely like um I would analyze that shit like way back, like and really try to figure out like how the fuck can we do this best, and so like there were years where it was like I would mistakenly throw tryouts and there wouldn't be like enough new blood to go around, you know what I mean? Like there wouldn't be enough new blood to develop. So like until I tinkered with the format and figured out that, like it makes sense that it would be better if it was like every 2 years, just so like people aren't just like fucking joining every fucking tryouts, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you got motherfuckers who are waiting 2 years to get their shot. So they're
yeah, yeah,
fucking like really ironing out the kinks and trying to get
yeah, yeah,
to be the best.
And then meanwhile, 2 years is a great run for whoever you brought up previously, and
100%.
then they
yeah,
can
yeah,
get a great run out
pretty
of the
much,
two
man.
years, and then cycle
Yeah,
continues.
yeah.
Fuck.
That's
Pay
like a fucking
pay
the
attention.
the tryouts process is pretty fucking tedious, man. It's like 3 to 4 different legs. It's like there's a submission based leg, so that's like the first leg, right? Like and I get like 5,000 fucking entries. You know what I mean?
Wow.
like but that's including like the nuisance candidates. Like a motherfucker will like send his entry like 20 times and shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Still, it's insane. Like, I mean, even like hundreds, no, like leagues aren't getting out here. They're not getting hundreds of people signing up,
yeah,
let alone thousands of people. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's like a lack of centralization on like King of the Dots part or
Not
like the
even
states.
it's 100% that 100% in the fact that you guys are the league out there, so you're in a position to do that. People know that like it's like out here it's different. Like I could be
Yeah,
you could be on King of the Dot and make your way, or you could be on uh URL and make your way, or one of these other leagues. Like out there, like it has to be motherfuckers got to want to be on the flip top stage of all the stages to
yeah,
be
yeah,
on. Like that's the one that's going to mean the most at the end of the day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
especially if you have like this very like elaborate tryout process that only happens every 2 years. So motherfuckers know, like, this is my chance to get in. And then heaven forbid they don't get in this year. Well, I better fucking be better next year, or I'm not going to You know what I mean? Like, that's none of that shit is happening out here. None of that's happening. You're getting, 10 to 20 people trying out at small events. And if you're lucky, one of these motherfuckers is good. And then if you're really lucky, that good motherfucker will be consistent. You know what I mean? And and then that dude's got to do a bunch of shit on his own to ever get to a point.
Before he even gets up there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that's great, man. See, I knew I was going to fucking talk to you and learn some shit. You're my fucking guy.
2-year gap also like helps weed out like everyone who's just trying to, like trying to ride the wave. Like they don't really rap, but like they can put together decent lines. So like that also helps like weed out like whoever isn't really into it for that long type shit. So
well, motherfuckers fall in and out of battle rap out here like a motherfucker. So like I could totally see and in 2 years for sure. Yeah. So like if you are the guy who waits 2 years for your shot, you probably deserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is fucking sick. That is awesome. Yeah, it makes so much sense now. Like, because when I look at the videos of the Fliptop videos that are like these videos that are new, they're a month old, 2 months old, that have fucking views in the millions, it's not people I recognize. It's not Batas. It's not fucking Looney. It's not the dudes I met while I was out there. It's new people, like people
There's definitely been a lot of new generations and a lot of evolution for sure, man. Like some of these new kids, they're fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like some of the cats now, like they were kids who were like watching Fliptop when they were 12, and then now they're like they fucking think in metaphors type shit. So
it's like MMA, right? Like kids that like when MMA started, it was all these guys who knew how to fight, like figuring it out. But now you got kids that were training from when they're fucking 10 years old to do jujitsu and all that shit, and they're going to put it all together. That makes sense, man. Like, fuck, God bless you if you got to face one of these Fliptop kids who's been watching this shit since he was 12 years old, fucking waited his fucking 2 years to get his shot, and then he's there in your face ready to fuck you up. Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah, man, for sure. Like, the kids are fucking insane out here.